Oh, I forget about this recording thing. By the way, Chris, I'm not good at this slow video thing.
No, no, no worries, no worries. I mean, you explained it very, very clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, I like. I guess my question is, so when you bought the first call, and then at one point when you started making a good amount of profit, okay, I want to protect those profits. Let me sell a call, and when you sell the call, for that equity, does it automatically be considered, I guess be considered covered because of your existing contract for September?
Exactly. So pretty much I'm just like saying that it's a protection against the
Yeah.
September.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that look, I've already made a ton of money on Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need to protect it. What if it goes back down and crashes back down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because you've seen this volatile moves in Tesla. So like
Yeah.
it can spike up and like, oh yeah, selling spree up, down, up, down. So I was like, you know what? Let me just put this covered call in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it, like today's like a beautiful day. Like it just went back down and I'm not feeling a pinch. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
feeling a pinch because guess what? It was down
Yeah.
$647.
See that there? Yeah. Yeah.
And then I made up for it at $812
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
Very
call.
nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, at least now if it goes further down, I will only make up to $1,200 because that's
Mm-hmm.
what I've sold it for,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I won't make any more than 1,200. So if this decided to go further down, I'll lose more. But I can adjust this. So I can set up another one and I can
Mm-hmm.
set up another one because this will expire in 8 days. This
Yep.
is 169 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not messing with opening and closing swing trading. You're like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
one single call. You're like, okay, this is my core position. I'm going to keep it open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trade around it while it swings up and down and up and down. I want to keep that original position open, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's how.
So that original call, that's serving as your collateral for any time you decide to sell a call, or right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Now,
Now,
what happens when like, so if you sold the call, if you don't close it out, right, and then it goes past the strike price, does your $700 call automatically, I guess, get exercised?
yes. So
Okay.
so if it goes past this and it is close to the expiry date, okay, there's a
Mm-hmm.
chance they will exercise it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But on the day of expiry or a few days before expiry, if you're in the money on this one, okay, my humble suggestion to you is close both of them out
Mm-hmm.
because that means that you're done, you're finished, your trade is good to go. Option two, I will tell you, if you go in the money, right, you can do something called a roll. Like, so let me explain this in a different way. It's called a trade-in program. Like, you know how you trade in your car for another car, like for
Yeah.
better mileage and all that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right. So here, look, if I decide to close this, it's 370 to 405. That's the bid ask spread
Mm-hmm.
for this, right? I can buy to close it at this price. But guess what? If I push it out a week further, right? Okay, just remember this. Like, this is how you roll. This is
Mm-hmm.
like rocking and rolling, right? So here's $4 right here that you would be closing and giving up at $4, right? So now we have to see that, let's assume this is in the money and it's $4 and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now how do I make this work? Right? So I just go out another week out, okay? Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
look for something that is $4, right? Like let's look for $4 right there. See that $4?
Yep.
Oh, actually, hold on. $4 is not there. It's here. Okay,
That's
let's
five,
assume
four sixty.
750 or
Mm-hmm.
745, somewhere there, right? So now just think about it. You went from 725
Mm-hmm.
to 745 to 750, just an extra week out.
Mm-hmm.
You bought distance and time with it. So you close that covered call and you just bought more time on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you sell this one instead, this one like here, right? So you're trading it in. You're saying, let me let go of this, give me this one instead. It's an
Gotcha.
exchange program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? Now, when you're back into this position, what will happen is you're going to see this position and you're like, oh man, I have now more time. I don't have to wait 8 days. I have 16 days, and I even have more distance. I have to wait till it goes past 7:45, not 7:25.
Hmm.
So now guess what you did? You like literally pushed the can forward. That's
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
did.
And it looks like you would have collected another $90 because the week out it actually costs more when you sell it. So
Exactly. So
you
when you're
close
in
for
the money,
370. Yeah, yep.
so whenever you're in the money, you get the option to do this kick the can forward
Hmm.
strategy. It's
Hmm.
called kicking the can. I made these names up because it's
I like
hard
it.
for
It's
people.
good.
It's hard for people to understand if I
Yeah.
try to use like rolling and all these
Hmm.
technical
Hmm.
terms, right? So it's just like kicking the can forward, and you're not letting go of this because you don't want to let go of it. You're like,
Hmm.
I still want to remain bullish, but I want more time and duration. And then guess what? If it crosses 7:45 or something, and the expiry date, guess what? And you can only kick the can on average 4 to 5 times. Okay,
Okay.
I've experienced it. You cannot kick the can forward more than 4 or 5 times. You can trade in and trading and trading. After 4 or 5 times, you're done. And the fourth or fifth time after rolling it out, guess what happens? You'll be satisfied with the gains here on this
Hmm.
one
Oh,
because
that's true. Yeah, because that keeps on
that is going
growing.
to be like way
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You'll be like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, I'm not going to cry about this now
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm already monetizing on this, and the delta is growing too. It's not
Hmm.
like a 50 delta. It's like going to be like 60, 70, 80 deltas, right, over time. So it's going to be a stronger delta. So this will be very powerful while you're going to keep doing this, right? So these are styles and techniques we are trying to teach people and say, look, if you empower yourself to do this, like you'll be a better trader
Hmm.
than just like arbitrarily just buy sell kind of
Hmm.
thing, right?
Yep.
And watching the technicals, right? So like I'll tell you one like secret of mine is I am not a chartist. Like
Hmm.
I am not like I don't see like the triangles like cup and handles. I know what they are, but I don't
Hmm.
like see them like and watch them closely like technical traders do because that only works 60-70% of the time. It
Hmm.
doesn't work like 80-90% of the time. So I use probabilities to help me get the edge to 90%. And then maybe if someone wants to do a charting for me or something, I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. Like that's like a secondary confirmation, third confirmation. Someone
Hmm.
will do a social arb search, and
Hmm.
someone else will do like, okay, what is trending on Twitter search?
Hmm.
What is doing this? Like all these things just give you more like confirmations of your strategy kind of thing. So that's kind of the idea. I did the same thing with Roblox too, right? Like you can
Man, I
see
was gonna
this.
say we need a name for that. Where you're kind of like you sell these covered calls, but you also you're bullish on it, but still selling covered calls on it.
Yeah. So let me share another train of thought here actually. Like, oh, by the way, this happened to Kupang with me too. Here, look. Like I got Kupang. I did this trade. I sold a put and I got assigned. I got 200
Oh
shares.
wow. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I got assigned. So well, selling a put, getting assigned is not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Hmm.
You're getting shares. You're keeping the shares in your pocket.
Yep.
So I got the shares. I got assigned. Well, it went down, but guess what I did? I did a covered call
And you
against the
sold two
shares.
contracts. I see.
Yeah,
Hmm.
344. I was like, give me whatever money you want to give me,
Hmm. Hmm.
against it while I own this shit. If it goes above 50, take it away. I don't want it. Or
Hmm.
if I feel bullish about it, I'll push that can forward, kick it forward up to like 55, 60 or something
Hmm.
like that. I will do something like that. And stuff like that. And the beautiful thing, the strategy called the diamond hands Mitt, whatever that was, Leon, you called it, or this is the strategies that people have not even named yet, is what we are doing here is, let's say we own a position or something.
Hmm.
We are doing these intense covered calls, sell puts, and all that against Roblox. Eventually, we're going to make Roblox free.
I see.
So think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. when you're doing covered calls and doesn't hit those limits every single time, and you keep rinse and repeat, what happens to your cost basis? You're accumulating income,
Yeah,
but
and
it's
you're
not
lowering your costs.
lowering your cost basis. So I have successfully done that in Apple and Tesla back in the day, where like you have your positions, they're totally free, and we don't have to worry about it. It's just
Nice.
like free trade at that point. You're like, you don't care. Like if it goes up, it goes up. It's all paid for. Like you've covered the cost of it fully. Like you made enough to pay off that trade. Not that, and then you can keep being more income oriented. It's like you own a shop. Like let's say you opened a coffee shop, right, and you put all the capital investment, and then you keep making money, and then the coffee shop is finally like you covered your investment, right, and then now you still own the shop. Now all you're doing is like income generation against
Yeah.
it. That's all it is. So it becomes like so like stress free at that point. You're like, okay, do what you feel like. You want to go up, that's fine. It'll call off my this thing, and then I'll keep rolling it can forward. You want to go back down, that's fine, be my guest. And then you'll keep like you'll just enjoy this game. You'll get like addicted in this cycle of income collection kind of thing. So yeah, so that's what we do is, and then pretty much in this I have the channels right here. So I pretty much share everything I do here in these channels. So like pretty much what I'm doing is core income is 99% batting average,
Nice.
40% return. Speculates, like literally doing that roll thing I'm telling you. I'm keeping on posting, look, sell call adjustments. I literally call out, this is what I'm doing. And here are now my new positions on it after everything, right? I keep posting like SI adjustment. I put it in like I have this, but I'm now adding this other one. And this is my new positions right now. So now here's the interesting thing is people look at the red and they're like, oh, this is all red. But think about it. You've rotated in and out, rotated in and out. You're collecting income. Like your income collection doesn't show up here. It is happening on your Excel spreadsheet or something. Like
Yeah. You're tracking on the side. Yeah.
you're tracking them on the side. Yeah. So stuff like that. Yeah. So that's
So is
that's kind
there?
of
That's actually pretty cool strategy. The for rolling out, for example, like, is there a way in Pastyworks to kind of set an alert to see, like, if the value of the premium is approaching, like if you sold the call and the value of the premium is actually, or the strike price is getting approached, right? Is there a way to set an alert? Oh, there we go. There we go.
yeah.
Now, is that an alert based upon the equity price or the actual?
Oh,
Uh,
it's equity price, but it's
okay.
the same thing as the strike price, right? So
Yep.
so here, look, like Roblox, you can put a threshold of the strike, right? Like
Nice.
if this is Roblox right here. Okay, if we cross 100, right? Like, okay, I don't want it to cross 100, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I put threshold 100 last. Yes, and see that?
Nice.
Like,
Or even if it gets close, right? If you want to roll out, if it ever gets to like 90, for example, or even 85.
yeah.
And
So
yeah, okay, that's good.
you can do that bid ask, and then you
Oh,
can
nice. Okay.
less than or greater than, and just set an alert here. But I don't use it because I watch my account every day, so I don't need it because I I manage a small portion. I'm only doing no more than 25 trades, and I'm just watching those 25 trades and rotating
Gotcha.
them out. Like I'll tell you one thing, the moment like even after doing this for several years, I got to 90 trades, and after some time you can keep a track of
Yeah,
what
90 sounds pretty massive.
yeah. It's hard. So the idea is, even if you find good buys out in the market, like you're like, oh man, this is lucrative, you have to mentally agree and make a decision, what am I willing to give up to buy this? Like you have to give up, like trust me, like that is the biggest challenge I've ever had, is rotating into new positions, and you have to have very good conviction on those that they're going to take off kind of thing. So
Or even just looking at like your positions altogether
Yeah.
by say expiration date, right? Is there a way
Yeah.
to do that just to make sure you don't end up missing something or getting
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
assigned without knowing, right?
Yeah. So here I'll go to table old right here,
Mm-hmm.
and I can
Oh,
sort
there we
by,
go. Okay, nice,
like you see, Baidu expired. I made a
mm-hmm.
nice whopping money.
Nice. Yeah,
Baidu,
yep.
Tesla, uh, that one is expiring in 8 days. Everything else is really further out, so I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
wait. Like,
Yep.
I guess most of them are 15 days. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are 15 days out, so I don't have to worry much about those until like 2 weeks from now. But if I have a long call position at the money or out of the money, I
Mm-hmm.
will manage it at least 30 days out, because after 30 days in it starts decaying like heavy. If you have bought a call position
Mm-hmm.
and it's less than 30 days in, remember that now you're just going to lose money on the extrinsic value because you paid. The sellers start making money,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, so less than 30 days from expiration, it's
Yeah,
better to close it
it's called
out,
theta
right?
decay in the
Yeah, theta decay.
technical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
theta decay.
So theta is faster when you're within 30 days of expiration.
Oh, I have the scientific number. It's 45 days.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So
But
they'll
but
start.
lately,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
it starts in 45. Like the exponential curve of
Mhm.
decay happens the last 45 days.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Now,
Interesting.
that doesn't mean you cannot go into a contract in 45 days. That just means that if you're buying a contract within 45 days,
Mhm.
you better be like right
You
on the
better feel pretty
direction.
strong.
Yeah, yeah, very, really strong on the direction that
Yeah.
you'll go to
Yeah.
the moon, and
Mhm.
and you will make a significant portion,
Mhm.
because you're paying a lot of extrinsic value. It's not cheap. So
Gotcha.
there is a high probability of making money on the sell side than on the buy side.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it makes good sense.
Yeah, I've been successful on the sell side, most of it.
Mhm.
Leon actually influenced me on the buy side because he was making a ton of money on the buy side.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, I want the piece of action on the
Yeah,
buy
of
side.
course.
So then we came up with the hybrid where
Mhm.
we're like, okay, I get the buy side action with sell side little flavor, right?
Mhm.
And then Leon adopted the sell side flavor as well along
Mhm.
with me. So we're like kind of like the hybrid
Yeah,
mixes
yeah. It's a good
out
mix.
there.
It's a good combo. I think it's a good
Yeah,
combo.
yeah. Yeah, I was a non-believer of buy calls because I had seen people back in the day getting burned a lot on the buy
Mhm.
side.
Mhm.
And lately, in the last few months, like if someone started trading in 2020, like mid 2020 and after, they have not seen the bad side of buying call options. They have
Mhm.
not experienced much of that. That decay is so powerful. Like people haven't seen it because the market just kept rallying like
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
right? Like,
Mhm.
and I've seen it since 2006, 7. So
Oh, wow. Mhm.
I've seen the markets like that's where we made up our minds that we're always going to be on the sell side, but now the buy
Mhm.
side people are making more money,
Mhm.
so we want action on both sides. So
Yeah, yeah.
kind of play both sides of the game, kind of thing. Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
and I think Coinbase is going to be a perfect example, right? Because when it comes,
Roblox already is, Leon. Like, we
oh yeah,
went in on
Roblox,
the IPO. Yeah, Roblox was one of the ones we got in. Like we are the first few traders of Roblox. Like we went in. Actually, guess what? We went in at $66.
yeah,
Okay, look how far it is. It's just $1 away.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
it went all the way to $76.
Mhm.
It came back down. It's done its magical swings. But guess what? Am I fearing my shares? Like I saw the shares go all the way to $2,000 and then come back down and all that stuff. But I'm like least worried because I want to hang on to them.
Mhm.
And then guess what? This is where I'm getting paid. I'm not getting paid by the shares. I'm getting paid everything around it.
Yep.
Around it is paying me. This
hmm
sell call at 85, 8 days. If it doesn't go to 85, I'm going to get paid $45.
Mhm.
If it
Nice.
doesn't go to $100, I'm going to get paid $460.
Nice.
If I'm not going to, if it's not going to go below 65, but I'm going to get paid 546. Otherwise, I will be buying the shares
At $65 each.
65,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then subtract how much I'm
Yeah. There.
collecting.
Yep. Minus
So
your.
that's
Yep.
like that's $59.
Mm-hmm.
I
Nice.
don't mind owning another 100 lot at $59. Give
Yeah.
it to me. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not, because this thing is 65 is a huge support. But if it
Mm-hmm.
goes below that, I'll be a happy camper. Just give it to me. I don't mind owning it at $59, because it's 65 minus 5.46. It is actually going to be 59.50 or something like
Yeah.
that.
59 and change. Yep. That's actually you bring up a good point. So in regards to support, right? How far down to
Yeah.
put your or to open like your selling put position. How did you find that support with 65?
It was just bouncing a chart.
Gotcha.
It
Okay.
just tells you.
From looking at the chart, you saw it
Yeah,
bounce off
yeah,
65
yeah,
or
yeah. You
around
just
that
kept,
range, right?
yeah. And guess what? It opened around that price too
Nice. Yep.
for
Yep.
the market. So when it went IPO, it went IPO 64, 65 range. I
Mm-hmm.
was the first few buyers. I got it at 66.
Nice. Nice.
Right. So that has been, now here's the interesting analysis I've done, right? With all this I have got selling and buying. I've done 2 rounds. This is the second round already on Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what my cost basis is now on Roblox on my 200 shares. My cost basis of that is 57 already as of today,
Oh wow, that's nice. Wow, very cool.
because of Roblox
Mm-hmm.
hasn't gone down to
Mm-hmm.
$57 a share. But what am I doing is I'm literally like collecting income that eventually
Yeah.
the Roblox share will go down to 40 something per share,
Mm-hmm.
30 something per share, 20 something, and then I will not have to worry about it,
So
whatever.
is that something that gets tracked anywhere in Tastyworks, or is it just on a spreadsheet on the side,
I
like to show your
actually
cost basis?
I actually submitted a request to them that I wish they provided a
Yeah,
tool
that
to
would be an
track it.
awesome feature, just to show what your cost
Oh
basis
yeah,
is
yeah.
after
I've been
everything.
asking for the feature, to the
Yeah.
extent that I was actually working with someone in our profit makers community to program it and build it out.
Mm-hmm.
But the unfortunate problem is that Tastyworks doesn't provide feeds.
I
Like
see.
I would
Mm-hmm.
create this entire model in Excel and
Mm-hmm.
show you that if I can get the feed. But if you have to keep copy pasting every single
Yeah.
trade into
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like it's like, but
Yeah.
here's what you can do, right? Like look at this. Like you can go to activity, right? You go to history right here. Okay. And I'm going to type in RBLX, right? Okay. Then I'm going to do past like 60 days or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see, it will tell me how much I'm collecting net, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can
Yep.
see I bought 200 shares for
Mm-hmm.
13,200, right? What is the net amount on the top? 11,326.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm technically, I lowered my cost from 13 all
Yeah,
the
I
way to
see. Yeah, that's nice.
11,000.
Yeah.
And it shows you all the buy sells you have
Mm-hmm.
done from the history from 310 all the way to 329.
Nice.
Like this shows it that way, but it's not like like
Yeah,
you have
you got
to,
to drill down to it. Yeah.
yeah, you have to drill down to it. Yeah. So yeah, no, this is kind of the idea of you know, it's there. The information is there. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that here's where I have reached, Chris, is that I don't care at this point, because I know I'm collecting. I still do the math, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm at 57 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 47 now. But I don't really like, I'm not concerned, like, am I
Mm-hmm.
collecting money or not? I know I'm collecting money.
Yeah.
That it just gives you a little bit of motivation. That's it. That okay, you're keeping on lowering your cost basis kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing over time. So that's how I play this.
So
Uh,
in regards to closing out your positions, I mean, because I know for what I would usually be doing is, if I hit like 20%, anywhere between 20 to 40%, I would just close out, right? But that's just buying, like, just buying calls or buying puts, right? But then for the strategies that you guys are describing here, um, is it that you're just gonna continue rolling out into such a time where you see that, okay, the profit is getting thinner and thinner each time, it's not worth the effort to continue rolling out?
yeah, it's a combination of your conviction in that position going forward,
Mm-hmm.
and what you feel like. I may not let, like Kupang.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in that company as much, but I just saw like a directional move, potential move, right? Like if it goes past 50, okay,
Mhm.
in 15 days, I'll just tell them take my shares and go. I'm going to be satisfied with 50. I'm like,
Mhm.
I got assigned at 45, okay,
Mhm.
on this one. I sold a 45 put, I got assigned. And then guess what? I collected almost a whopping, when I did that, I collected like $500.
Mhm.
I kept that in my pocket. So technically at 45 minus $5 is like I bought it at $40 a
Yep.
share. Okay, now you can't see that here because that $500 is already in my pocket, right? Now
Mhm.
you only see the value as of 45, right? That's all you will see is
Yeah.
200 shares is 45, right? 900 divided by 200,
Mhm.
right? So that's all you'll see because 500 is in my pocket. So my
Mhm.
technical cost is 40. If I'm going to sell at 50, I made $10 a share
Yeah.
times
Yep.
200. Be my guess. And plus, guess what? I'm collecting 344. So that
Mhm.
means divide by two is $172. So that means I would be technically selling at 51.72 because I add the 172. That's my cost basis on the top side
Mhm.
because this is going in my pocket as well while I'm selling
Yep.
the 50, right? They don't take my premium away. I get to keep it.
Mhm. Gotcha. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So it just
Yeah.
depends on what's the well, what's the potential, I guess, end, right? Or what's the potential conclusion in the end, right? Do I want to be greedy, or is this good enough profit? Let me just take
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Take my shares. I'm good to go. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
We have a lot of influencers in our community, like good ones, smart influence. Like Frank is an amazing guy.
Mhm.
Like he's like active. You'll see his Just Frank posts that come in. Like this guy does research all night. He stays up all
Mhm.
night doing research, and like he goes in conviction. So guess what? I have a conservative way of playing his trades. He buys the stocks outright, sells it outright,
Mhm.
and like he does the simple plain vanilla. But I do this instead. I'm like, okay, I may ride with you, but I'm not going to take as much risk as you. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm going to sell a call instead or something like that. So
Mhm.
we can do stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So we kind of tag team. We help each other out. I do a little bit of research as well, and then we have Ashar, like he's the Twitter like expert. He goes in and like scans through Twitter feeds.
Mhm. Oh wow.
I
Mhm.
think we've been very fortunate as a team where we got the right people at the right time with different skill sets.
Mhm.
Like I'm good at like unusual activity dark pools. Frank is good at research. Leon's good at like technical charting because he used to
Mhm.
do that back in the Bitcoin world,
Yeah.
and like he like literally sees patterns and everything on the charts. We have other technical traders in there, and then we have like all the variety of
Mhm.
everyone, and it just makes it very pleasing,
Rounded.
right? Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
pleasing,
Sounds
like
sounds pretty well rounded. Yeah.
yeah, well rounded. Like you're like you got everyone kind of looking at the same thing in different perspectives. It just feels really nice. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But finally, I mean, I know I've been following you guys passively, because more because of my day job. My day job is it's in cybersecurity, so there's always something happening, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in the cybersecurity world, right? So, I was telling Leon earlier, like what I tend to do is I'll have my work stuff here, and then on my left side I'll have like other screens up. I'll have your Discord up, looking at, okay, which channels are lighting up now. Okay, Frank said something, or Leon said something, or Mitt's trade said something, so I'll click through there, drill down there, and see what's going on there. Just trying to keep up with it. But at the same time, I mean, a Zoom session like this I think is really helpful, for me, right? Just to get an understanding of your strategies. Because up to this point it's, let me buy a put here, let me buy a call there. But like you said, I got to keep an eye on it. I got to keep an eye on like the expiration dates, and what I want to do, when I want to close, which is also,
The
it's still
idea
enough to do.
is
Yeah.
the idea is we want you to do this yourself
Mm-hmm.
eventually.
Yeah, with
Is
the
get
stuff
the hang
you
of
like.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the thing is I'm loving the community now. We've got an army in the actions like people are messaging me is like, Mitt, I'm going to do this. Can you tell me what the risks or upside downsides are? You
Mhm.
do you give me a green light on it? Like obviously we're not giving financial advice or anything,
Mhm.
but we're just looking at it in terms of strategy, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, is this a good strategy? Yeah, like you would be above this, you would be doing this. So if you're good with those terms that you're setting your own terms, right? It's not
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
market is, you're setting your own terms and conditions
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
trade. So like we give them like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We're like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
this is good. Like, no, this one, like you're taking too much risk to
Mhm.
collect less money. Like,
Yeah.
is it worth the risk reward, right? Like you have to kind of analyze that. So people are like doing that now.
Mhm.
And we do the Sunday meetups
Mhm.
right now. We'll shift back to maybe Saturday after tax season. I kind of stay active in the tax world as well,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
may do that. And let's see how things kind of progress further. But that's the whole idea. And I think this is an area which is very tough to teach,
Mhm.
and people have ignored it because people just want simplicity of in and out.
Mhm. I
But
see.
those who get it, those who clicks,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, this is a gold mine for those.
Yeah.
For those who it clicks, it's like a gold mine, because that's when they're like, oh wow, I can do this instead rather than doing my stop limits and top
Mhm.
limit
Yeah.
and
Yeah. The
all
whole
this
deal.
stuff.
The
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah,
overhead of
yeah,
management. The
yeah,
whole
yeah,
overhead of management.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? You are going to be perfectly fine because you have an active job. And
Mhm.
I'm busy as like a CFO of a company and that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So I'm not like active, but like what happens is like I get like a fire drill or something I have to attend to. Like I know I have my hedge in already. I don't have to like worry about the tops and the down. Occasionally it may blow through the call,
Mhm.
but that is a good problem to have. We're like,
Yeah. Definitely.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a bad problem. It's a
Mhm.
good problem. We're like, okay, my call is making a lot of money. That's
Mhm.
that's why it's blown through that, right? So stuff like that, right? It's a good problem to have. So stuff like that we had. Like this morning, it blew through my call strike, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll roll it. But that
Mhm.
doesn't mean like we have to check it every minute or
Yeah.
every 10 minutes or something. But just because we're like so free and engaged, we sometimes go in and like spend more time and turn wheels around it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I just love what the community is doing. It's like the research is phenomenal. I think Frank actually has gone into Kathy Wood's minds or something. Like
Mhm. Nice.
she's like, it's like he always reads Kathy Wood's mind. What is she going to do next? What is
Mhm.
she going to
Mhm.
do next?
So
So
he's
stuff
a
like
close
that.
follower of Arcane Arcax. I'm
Oh
guessing, right?
yeah. So he literally kind of is like, tonight she's going to buy this for sure. Like, and then next morning it's like it exactly happens. It's like,
Nice. That's
did you
funny.
call her up or something? What did you
Mhm.
do?
Mhm.
It's like the gut feeling because you kind of watch their trend and patterns, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
You start developing that skill and all that. So, and I like to do dark pools and unusual activities
Mhm.
because that's what I've been doing it for about 4 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
So guess what I do is I see the institutional trades coming in,
Mhm.
and guess what I've done? I built persona profiles on
Oh
them,
wow.
which means
Interesting.
like I know this may be Goldman Sachs, this may be JP Morgan that's putting,
Mhm.
but the way I build persona profiles, I see their order quantity and it's exactly like similar.
Oh okay. So there's a pattern there that they.
Yeah. You know that this is the same guy placing the second
Yeah.
trade, the
Interesting.
third trade,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
you're not sure. You're kind of coming up, drawing conclusions. It could be false. It could be true.
Mhm.
But like when you watch it for 4 years straight, like you start building that
Mhm.
because you're watching it constantly, right? So that's where I got my Tesla position. I saw like almost like 30 million in trades
Oh
happen
wow.
in Tesla,
Mhm.
and I was
Mhm.
like, this is definitely bullish. This is going to run up like a
Mhm.
rock star, if not today, tomorrow, something,
Yep.
someday. So guess what? I jumped in on it, and
Nice.
that's when I got. but then you don't see those kind of things happen very often. So
Yeah.
when it happens, I post it, like I'm in, and then and sometimes it's more of a gamble. So I call it a roulette trade, which
Yeah,
means
I saw that. Yeah, you had that roulette
yeah,
channel. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
roulette. So it doesn't mean roulette, but it just means like, okay, I'm taking my chances on
Yeah,
it.
it's a yeah.
Yeah,
So a little riskier, little riskier.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like those who want like higher odds and lower ROI, they can do core income and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Very
Yep. More steady.
steady. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes good sense. I mean, I think it's definitely a good strategy, which what you're describing, and I definitely want to pick up more on it. I mean, back in like March 2020, um, during the whole crash, Leon introduced me to options and how things work. And similar to what you said, Mitt, I think it's difficult to learn it just by watching videos or just hearing people. So I never really got the grasp of it until until I dove in, right? So it started off with like 6,200. I lost some, went all the way down to maybe like 2,000, something like that, right? But it's almost like tuition in my mind, right? It's a learning experience, right? Unless you actually roll your sleeves up, get to experience the loss as well as the wins, you don't really understand, how do the calls work, how do the puts work, how do the spreads work, right? And then what happened recently, like 2 weeks ago, when everything started, when the rug started getting pulled, like at that point, I was up to like 21K, but then over the past 2 weeks, I just started dwindling down and down, right? So about almost like 75%. So I'm down to like 7K now. So I was like, okay, I got to try something different. Because this puts and calls isn't gonna work in the long run, right? I can't keep an eye on this all the time, right? So Lee and I got to talking, started checking out your channels a lot more, started watching some of your videos too. I was mentioning to Leon earlier, the last video I watched, which is a while ago, was I think you bought like a really, really deep in the money call for Palantir for like
Yep.
January 2022 or further or something like that. And how you were like, okay, now I could start selling calls. And I was like, that's a very interesting strategy, right? How it just kind of covers like that. So, yeah. And so now it's kind of like, let me see what strategies I can pick up, a different way of learning, and then, try to take it from there. A more steady way to approach instead of having to look at expiration dates every day.
Yeah, and bear with me because like I'm not good at videos. Like this is like not like my video skills are like
I think
not
it was very
acquired skills, they're
informative.
like learned
From what I
skills.
saw, it was
Like
very informative.
yeah, like
Good.
I don't know like how to present myself on video as much, but I just like try my best as much as to explain. But here's the rules I've created. I posted it on the Profit Makers. I just wanted to show you like
You should,
these are
you
the
should
rules. What?
you should pin that. Go to the three dots.
Yeah, you see, this is stuff like where Leon kind of helps me, right? Like,
Pin that message. Boom.
yeah. I just spinned it. So here's the thing, like if you want to be in the game longer and make consistent income, okay, not like supernova income, at least on a bare minimum consistent income, you have to watch out for position sizing. Okay, that means like you don't go out sell puts. Like it works. Okay, I'll do 10 contracts. I'll do 100 contracts, and you'll keep winning. Right. One day you're going to get busted, and
Oh yeah.
you'll be forced to own. Can you afford? So position sizing is a function of if you are supposed to take ownership of it. Are you going to be comfortable? If not, that means that you're trying to buy $1 million house. You can only afford $100,000 house based on your income limitations, right? Like that's what people try to do in this, right? Trade across uncorrelated products, which means like if you're doing a bunch of trades, you want to trade products that are not having the same pattern together. They have different patterns. Like if everything is like looking exactly the same, you will fail in that aspect. Uh, Having bigger chunk of liquid options, that means like having at least like positions that you can get in and out. The bid ask spread is not too wide. Like don't lock yourself in those positions long term where they like, I bought it at 80 cents, but now if you want to get out, you can only get out at 15 cents. It's not like 5 points wide. You wanted something
Yeah.
a little narrow. Manage winning trades, meaning like if you're making money, start managing them and start like we did, right? We started selling a call immediately after we're
Mhm.
winning, right? Like you want to manage them and start protecting yourself, right? That is one way. Like, use risk measures, try downside upside protection, pretty much doing all the covered calls, covered puts.
Mhm.
Maintain at least 40 to 50% cash at all times if possible. You can go to like 20, 30%, but always have a target to come revert back to the mean of 40, somewhere there. Maximize, and what I mean by this is like, because when you get assigned on a put,
Mhm.
you will have to put cash up front.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You don't think that, hey, look, I got this sell put, it's going to stay out of the money. I nothing's. You can have like events where it will suddenly like come and crash and swipe you. So
Mhm.
that's why. Maximize the ROI per trade if possible. So when you're setting up trades, this is a skill that you build on, is make sure you get the maximum ROI for the risk you're taking,
Mhm.
the lower risk you're taking. Not all positions having the same expiry date. If you have everything in your portfolio expires on the same day, that's a bad thing, because that means everything will assign on that day and you're going to be like
Mhm.
done. And then take advantage of high implied volatility when it's present. So when markets are very volatile like crazy,
Mhm.
you just start selling premium on those days, because that's where you can survive. And watch the Greeks, especially the deviation impact of delta, which means like the IV and the gamma impact on the delta. So you have to like literally study the Greeks and make sure that you're watching the Greeks closely. So if delta is growing,
Mhm.
you want to start kind of repositioning yourself. Like, okay, am I satisfied with the delta growth? Do I want to lock my profits there, kind of thing? So like, I'd say like these are like the rules like for success kind of
Mhm.
thing. So we kind of like follow this, and we become winners. Like if everyone were to able to comply to this rules, they would not complain. Like I also
Mhm.
sometimes struggle to fail on my rules. When I feel like I'm failing a bunch of these rules, I have to do a master reset. That means I'm not thinking right now, I'm becoming emotional.
Emotional. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what that tells me. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
But I have to step out real quick to another meeting. But it was nice
Sure.
talking to you, Chris,
Oh,
and
likewise. Likewise. Good. It's good to
we'll
meet